Here we go. So, oh, let me change it to my name too. I didn't realize I didn't have. Good morning, everybody. Thanks you guys for being on time. Happy Friday. I get to be your instructor for today. I'm teaching a two-part class today because we didn't have a class yesterday because of Red Day. So happy Red Day for everyone. And I know we'll probably have a few more people jumping in. So I'm just quickly right now going to introduce myself. I think most of you know who I am. There might be a few that have not met me before. So I don't know. Let's see. Denise left the building. Sir Ram El Alizem. I don't know who you are. What's your real name? What's your first name? Do I get to hear you?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Saram
Saram
Alazim.
Elazim. Oh
Yeah.
God, thank you for saying it better for me. Thank you. Good morning. Well, okay,
No
so my
worries.
name's Laura
Nice to meet
Gleason. Hi, my name's Laura Gleason, and I'm the team leader over in the San Jose Gateway office. And of course, this is a class that we do for our three offices that are connected together. And just to give you a teeny bit of background about me, I have been in real estate now for 20 years, almost 21. I know that because my daughter just turned 21. And I'm actually an agent in the Santa Cruz office. I've been with the Keller Williams Santa Cruz office for 7 or 8 years now, and I was the productivity coach over there, for about 3 years before I had the opportunity to become a team leader over here in San Jose. And I've been the team leader here in San Jose for 4 years. So long real estate career. I have been in real estate for 20 plus years. Prior to that, I have a master's degree in higher education administration. I used to work at the college level and I taught a bit at the college level, helped develop some curriculum, but mostly I was in administration. And then as I started to grow my family, I transitioned into a real estate career. And one of my favorite things to do is to get to teach. And I have to share a little bit of background. So when I was with 2 other companies before I came to Keller Williams. I've only been with Keller Williams for about 8 years and of my 20 years. And I obviously have an education background. And when I moved over to Keller Williams, it was with the opportunity to get to become the productivity coach in the Santa Cruz office. And so I quickly started helping teach some of the courses that are available through Keller Williams University. And Ignite was one of the first classes I got to start teaching, and I was blown away by it. And some of you guys have heard me say this, but I was like, wait a minute. They have a class that they have created through Keller Williams University that they teach all over the company, that they update every year, make sure it's current and updated. And everything they teach in that class, I had to figure out and make up on my own when I started in real estate because I didn't have a class like that at the companies I was at. I feel like this Ignite class is that good, you guys. And I tell my agents now, if I decided to go back into selling full time, if I focused just on Ignite alone as an A student, not a C student, but it really showed up and really devoted and followed what the course is teaching you, I'd blow everybody out of the water. All the fundamentals, all the foundational stuff that you need to be a good real estate agent, you learn in just this one class, Ignite. And then of course, Keller Williams University has 50 other classes that we have probably from A to Z. There's so many other classes and our offices try to offer at least one of those classes every month. So Ignite is a big one. It's 20 sessions long, or 18 or 19, 20 sessions long. And it has been updated, a huge update in the last 2 years, which is why it's called Ignite 2.0. And they've divided it into 2 sections now, Spark and Elementals. And today is the last day of Spark. Excuse me, my morning voice. You guys are the first ones I'm really speaking to this morning. And Spark is the beginning part that's really meant to teach you those very basic beginner skills of real estate. It's all foundational. Everything in Keller Williams is foundationally built. We believe in training and education as that foundation, because the better you learn, the better you're able to take care of your clients. The better you're able to take care of your clients, the more clients you're going to have. The more clients you have, the more market share we're all going to have, and the more money we're all going to make. So it's all starts with training and learning. And the fundamentals are definitely from Ignite. So Spark is the very beginner stuff. And then Elementals is really meant to be foundational or fundamental skills for every single realtor, even if you need a brush up. So I know, for example, Linda, who's in the course with us today, she's not a brand new agent. And she's actually going to get to teach one of the classes this month for you. And so the Elementals, Linda, is really meant for everyone in real estate to have a brush up. I taught a class recently on lead generation and lead follow-up at the Association of Realtors here in San Jose. And I had about 20 people in that class on Zoom. And every single person in that class had been in the business 10 years or more, which I was blown away by. Because I usually get more newer agents in my classes. And I was blown away by that, because what that says to me is there's always room to grow and learn and improve and pick up on a new skill. And the foundation of our business is lead gen and lead follow-up. So today's class is a day in the life of an agent. And we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to, I think one of the biggest things that's maybe a downfall of our industry is that there is no set job description. You don't clock in and clock out every day. You don't clock in at 8:30 and clock out at 5:30. In fact, it can be what you would call a perpetual business. What do you guys think I mean when I say a perpetual business?
You're available many hours, any hour.
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah. I mean, we're dealing with people's dreams. The biggest purchase most people make in their life are purchases, and it keeps them up at night. So you can get text messages, phone calls all night long. I remember early on in my career, my work phone, it was before we were doing cell phones so much, I had a designated work line, would ring into my bedroom. I changed that quickly because I had clients calling me at like 3 a.m. and oh my God, that was horrible. I sort of had a bedroom that was also an office, and I changed all of that very quickly. But yeah, it can be very perpetual. And I think for new agents, when you're coming, remember, we're entrepreneurs now. You're your own business owners. You own your own business. So you get to hire yourself every day and you get to fire yourself every day. Have you done the activities that you need to do to be successful? For me, and you can write this down, I call it the win the day formula. I didn't make that up. I learned that in all of my trainings. What is the win the day formula? And when you go at the end of each day, when you decide to close up shop, turn your phone off, whatever it is you need to do, put it on silent. Have you won the day today? Have you done those activities that you need to do to say, yep, I did the best I could today, and I would hire myself back tomorrow? And if you would say, no, I blew it today, or I just, life got in the way, or something went upside down, which can also happen. Okay, then tomorrow I need to win the day. Tomorrow I'm going to get up, I'm going to rehire myself, and I'm going to do those activities. So today this class is meant to help you put some organization into your schedule, and actually what I call create your own job description. We're going to talk about what the day in the life should look like, and we're going to talk about 411s, which hopefully some of you guys already know what that means. Can you guys raise your hand if you know what a 411 is? You can raise a hand if you're not showing me under reactions. You can also raise a hand. So we're going to talk about 411s, which is a planning tool. And then we're also going to talk about time blocking, and we're going to talk about calendars, and we're going to talk about accountability today. So thank you all for being here. Oh, and then, okay, thanks. Is it William or Bill? What do you go by?
Zach.
Oh, Zach. Okay, thanks, Zach. Threw me there. So we're going to talk about accountability as well. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm teaching the second hour, I'm teaching zip forms templates. And what I'll do is I'll stop the recording and I'll restart. So it's actually a separate class. So for those of you that are just learning how to use zip forms and you haven't created templates yet, we're going to do that at 10 o'clock. So it's a 2-part class today. So starting with today, and I'll go ahead and get the presentation ready to go and share my screen with you for a bit. So once I start sharing my screen here with the presentation, I can't see the chat anymore. So if you guys are asking me questions, you kind of need to speak up. Don't be shy. And that will help me a lot. Or if someone's typing in the chat, somebody else let me know, please. Okay, let's just change this. All right, is that all full screen for everybody? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about what successful agents do every day. There's 2 things that successful agents do every day. They grow their business and then, sorry, excuse me, and then they run their business. And you have to do both. And the other way I've heard this talked about is that you're actually growing your business is working on your business, O-N, and running your business is working in your business, I-N. So you have to grow it and run it. If you don't grow it, you don't have a business to run. So you work on it and you work in it. So growing it is lead generating for buyers and sellers, making seller listing presentations, getting listings, make buyer presentations, getting those agreements signed, and reviewing real estate. Now, oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. I got to back up. Does everybody have the handouts for today, or do I need to drop it in the chat really quick? I need to hear if you don't have the handouts.
I would like it dropped in the chat.
Okay, sorry,
please.
let me do that really
Yes, please
Yeah, I
drop
don't
it in the
have it
chat
either.
box.
Okay, it's not a lot for today's either. Like the slide I just showed isn't in there, but let me grab it for you really quick. Student resources, Spark class 9. Okay, I just put it in there for you. And so you guys should be able to grab that PDF. Okay, I think there's one other thing I'm going to put in the chat. The other part I like to put in here is how you get to the participant guides yourself, because that's a really important skill for you guys to all know, is how do you get to this information? So if you're already part of Keller Williams, I know Emma's with us today and she's brand new. So if you're part of Keller Williams, you already have your KW email, your KW account, you can get to all of the participant materials for all the KWU courses inside of KW Connect. Who does not tell me, raise your hand or voice it to me? I don't know how to get there through KW Connect. Who doesn't know how to get there?
No.
You don't know how to get there yet? Okay, I'm going to show you very quickly. So let me do this. Because this is it. All the classes are there for you guys. So I dropped it in for you, but you can get it yourselves as well. So KW Connect is our online learning portal with a ton of information in it. I could spend a whole hour showing you cool stuff inside of KW Connect. But you go to kwconnect.com and you log in with the same login you have for everything. KW Command, KW Connect, it's the same login. If you don't know that login, you need to talk to your leadership at your office and find out what your login is. Underneath resources here, if I hover over it, you see where it says KWU here? I need somebody to nod. Saram, do you see it?
I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I click on KWU, they have tons of stuff in here, but here in the first one, well, it says instructor-led materials, and that takes you to like all 50 classes. Over here on the right, you see the dog, it's the Labrador, it's Ignite 2.0. So if you click on Ignite 2.0, just let me know if it's switched for you guys. Does it say Ignite 2.0 Lab here in red?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If I scroll down, right here is a red tab that says participant resources. And when you click on that, every class the thing I just handed you for number 9, a day in the life of the agent, is that right there. So all the materials are right there. Okay. So again, it was I hovered over resources, I went to KWU, and then it was over to the right, it said Ignite 2.0. And when you click on that, then you scroll down to the red student resource tab. You can get the resources under the materials tab, but they're not really in order and it's kind of confusing. So I think the participant tab is the easiest way to get to it. Okay. So quick lesson there. And Ignite is, KW Connect is something you really should explore, especially this resources tab. There's amazing support in there for you. Okay, so, I have given you the info and I've shown you how to get there. So now I'm going to go back and share my screen again. And like I said, the participant material for today is just a couple of pieces. And I think it starts with the 411, which we're definitely going to get to. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, hold on a minute. I think I've got this running twice now. Is it not gonna
I had
do
a quick question while you're working that out. You said that today is the last of Spark, but there's 10 modules, it looks like, on the materials list. And you said today is a day in the life of an agent. Is the Market Center specifics just added on to today, or is there something extra in that we should be addressing ourselves, or what's the deal with that?
The Market Center specific one is the class I'm teaching at 10, which is zip form templates.
Oh,
So
okay,
we
I'm
did
sorry if
not
I
have
missed that.
class yesterday because this class that we're teaching right now at 9 would have been yesterday's class.
Oh, see,
We didn't
okay.
have because of Red Day. So you're getting number 9 and number 10 today.
Okay, apologize if I'm making you repeat it.
No problem. And then the elementals section will end with the last class will be class 9. We won't have a class 10 on that one. So it's technically 19 classes. Okay.
Roger that.
All right. So we are going to be working on growing our business and running our business. You don't even have a business to run if you're not lead generating and making seller and buyer appointments and learning your inventory, previewing real estate. Okay. And then running your business is marketing to marketing your seller listing, showing open buyers' houses, negotiating contracts, transaction management from contract to close, vendor management. Who's your team? Who are your vendors that are a part of your team? There is no such thing as a solo agent. Every single agent has a team. And it's made up of your staff in the office, your transaction coordinator, your escrow officers, your lenders, your inspectors. They're all a part of your team. Who are those people? Do you have those people yet? Setting goals, compliance, risk management, learning the contracts, learning the rules, the laws, attending training and money management. We teach you how to run a business. Every single agent in real estate is a small business owner. And most companies don't teach you about running a business. And that's a huge part of Keller Williams' value proposition is we teach you about running a business and money management. So today we're going to talk about growing your business, setting weekly and daily objectives, and creating some accountability around that. People do not decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. The other thing that I like, the other quote I like, and this is from Gary Keller's One Thing book. Who has not heard of the One Thing book? ONETHING, One Thing. Or people who have not heard of it? Okay, great. You've all heard of it. It's a great book. Most of your offices have a copy that you can purchase for about $15 or borrow a copy. And it's what I call an airplane read. It's about a 2-hour read. You can quickly get through it. And it has amazing parts in it about focus. It's a book about focus. It's about focusing on goals and focusing on one thing at a time, creating clarity and purpose in your goals. And so this is a quote from that book. People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. The other quote I like that's shorter that you can write down if you want is time management equals choice management. Many times when we talk about time management, what we're really talking about is managing our choices. We have a lot of choices in life, and what are you choosing to focus on? And that's part of your time management. So time management equals choice management. And then my other quote is winning the day. What does it take for you to win the day? So we're going to be talking about developing a plan for you to use your time effectively. Now, how many of you have been in real estate for over a year now? Can I just hear some yeses? Okay, I heard one, a quiet one. I'm going to ask a question, and I apologize for some of you, it has not been relevant because we have not been able to do open houses in the last year. But for most new agents, open houses are a big part of their business plan or their daily activities. Why do you think that agents, and this is my opinion on this, why do you think new agents like to do open houses?
Gives them a
Generate
chance
leads.
to network and build. Yeah.
They get to meet people.
Get to meet people, get to generate leads, get to network. In my opinion, you can do those things all week long. You don't need an open house to do any of the things that you just talked about. The reason why new agents like to do open houses is because it's the closest thing to a real job for them. You show up, you dress up, you prepare ahead of time, you show up and it opens at a certain time and it closes at a certain time. I really think that's why most new agents are geared towards open houses, is because it feels like a real job on a Saturday or Sunday. I have to be there at a certain time. I have to put my signs out. I have to be prepared. I have to dress nice. I have to know what I'm going to say. And I get to close up at a certain time. And so in real estate, when we really don't have a clock in and clock out every day, Monday through Sunday, that to me for open houses is why most new agents gravitate towards them, is because it feels like a real job. So we're going to talk today about. Somebody have a question?
It seems like it would be a close it seems like it would be a close approximation to a warm up for like a listing presentation or something like that, or you get to field questions and kind of be face to face with potential clients.
Yeah, you kind of get to practice in front of people.
I feel also,
Go ahead,
Laura, I feel that in open houses, the people who are coming to see the house, they are potential buyers. Those are people who are interested in real estate. When you are not in open house, you are, doing cold calls that you don't know if people are interested or not. So it's more targeted audience that you.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that I think part of the reason why people do it is because it's something concrete that it gives you to do when you're a new agent and you're trying to find concrete stuff to do every day. In fact, I think open houses are coming back soon. Read the email from Mike Stabilia that just went out yesterday, and I just resent it to my office this morning. We're not really quite there with what we consider open houses that we've done in the past. So we're getting there, and they will come back. And I highly recommend you do them. And in fact, I recommend you can do them every day of the week. They don't have to just be on the weekends. Okay, but what we're going to talk about today is building a daily schedule for you that becomes your job description. Okay, and they have some suggestions here. I don't even think this part is in your handout. And that's okay, because we're going to build it on really the first handout for you that's relevant is page 3. It's the 411, and that's the planning tool. And we're going to talk about that. So, but this shows you right here a typical clock in and clock out type of job description. 8 to 8:30 motivation building time, 8:30 to 11:30 daily success habits, lead generation. Sorry, I've got, you guys are in my way. Lead generation and lead follow-up, then some lunch. Yep, got to eat lunch, got to take care of yourself. Then 12:30 to 2:30, run the business activities, marketing listings, reading, negotiating contracts, attending trainings. 2:30 to 4:30, grow the business activities, previewing real estate, making seller presentations, meeting with clients. 4:30 to 5:30, review calendar for tomorrow and make success list, and family time in the evening. And so they're showing you that it can be done this way. Okay. The other thing that helps you create what they call a success list, the difference between a to-do list and a success list is a to-do list tends to be every activity that's in your brain. And the success lists are the top 3 or 4 activities on the to-do list that are your most important activities. Later on in this segment, we'll talk about filling your bucket with rocks, and you fill your bucket with the big rocks first. If you fill your bucket with sand, which are small, menial tasks, you don't have room for big rocks. So you always fill your bucket with big rocks first, then smaller rocks, then sand. And so your big rocks are those big things that are helping you move your business ahead. So if you think about a success list versus a to-do list, a success list would be the top 3 priorities on your to-do list that you need to get done. Okay. There's one more thing here that I put in here. That's something that Spark recommends you do every day, and that's your daily 10-4. That's success activities. And that's 10 contacts a day, reaching out to 10 people that you either know or don't know, having 10 conversations a day, which means you actually talk to someone. Contacting someone doesn't mean that they respond. So 10 contacts a day, 10 conversations a day, writing 10 handwritten follow-up notes, and then previewing 10 properties a week so that you're learning the inventory. That's the daily 10-4 list.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
So real quick, so the 10 home previews per week, I mean, that could just be you sliding by, like checking it out, or like, what does that entail?
That's such a good question. That's another thing that's been really hard to do because we're not allowed to have open houses right now. So before COVID, you would have broker tour that you could go to and you could go preview homes. The realtors would have their homes available for agents to preview during broker tour. And right now, when you're previewing right now, we're just talking about going to the MLS and looking at properties on the MLS. It's hard to preview properties. Everything is by appointment only right now. And so you really aren't doing a lot of previewing. You're showing up with your clients and you've made an appointment. So the previewing you're doing right now is on the MLS. If you've got buyers looking in a certain neighborhood, then you're checking out every single property that's in their price range in that neighborhood ahead of time and letting them know about it. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Do you
Laura,
think maybe that you might add like put once a day setting up an appointment with the broker to actually view the house?
That's up to the agent. Most agents are because of COVID in the last year have been saying, no, there's no previewing. You just need to show up with your client. And the other part about that is, you guys, we've had a really active market this past year, and there's not a lot of time to preview. You just got to show up and show the property before it gets sold out from underneath you. So your previewing right now is really more about making sure you know what the inventory is on the MLS and you're letting your clients know about it right away. Okay. Previewing will come back, but right now it's more MLS activities. Does that make sense?
Yes, gotcha.
Okay. I want to
Yes.
show one other thing. I stopped the presentation because I have a list that's going to help you think about your daily activities in a different way. I'm just going to pull it up. Okay. So they showed on the presentation one thing, and I want to show it to you a different way. And this is something I do with agents in my office. We're going to be creating a 411 plan in just a second here. And these are some things to think about when you're creating your plan of what your daily job description becomes. So a couple things to think about. What can you do this month to build relationships? The 411 plan is a monthly planning tool. What can you do to build relationships this month? The more relationships you build, the better chance you're going to have of getting buyers and sellers. And what can you do to be listing focused? We all know that listings are flying off the shelf right now. And so the quickest way to get to a paycheck is to have listings. If you are only focusing on buyers right now and you're writing multiple offers, chances are your buyers are not getting their first offer accepted. And it takes a lot longer for you to get to a paycheck. So listings are the name of the game right now. And what can you be doing as you build your daily and weekly and monthly plan to be listing focused? So here's some things to think about. You should be doing at least 2 hours of prospecting each day, 5 days a week, which means 20 calls, 10 contacts per day. That's that daily 10-4. 1 hour of lead follow-up is part of the daily 10-4. You should have a listing appointment goal every week. If your goal for the year is a good goal for a new agent would be, say, you want to do 12 closings for the year, 1 closing a month. And you would like half of that business to be listing focused and half of that business to be buyer focused. So that means you want 6 listings for the year. Well, how many listing appointments do you need to go on to get a listing every other month? Are you getting every single listing that you're going on? Are your skills that high that you're getting 95% of your listings? Or are you only getting every other listing, so 50%? So think about how many appointments would you need to go on a week or a month for you to hit your listing goal. And then 1 to 2 listing focus classes or trainings a week so that you build those skills. Practicing your seller and buyer presentations, practicing writing offers, and writing out the listing contract. Do you know the paperwork? Do you know how to explain it to your clients? Command training and command input, putting all the people you know inside of KW Command and learning how to reach out to them through Command. Having an accountability partner for your daily check-ins and weekly check-ins. Practicing your scripts. Now, most of you should be coaching with Renee, and Renee is doing script practice every morning at 8:30. You can practice scripts with your accountability partner too. So find someone who you feel that you can each work with each other and grow. And we're going to talk about accountability more in a few minutes. And then listing focused social media posts is another thing. So that's a huge part of everyone's business plan right now is social media, because we're so restricted on doing things in person. You can't do open houses right now. So what are you doing on social media to be listing focused? And then this is another example of an agent daily schedule. And then I'm actually going to show you a calendar in a sec that also lays it out for you. So 9 to 9:30 script practice, 9:30 to 11:30 connect with your database, lead gen and lead follow-up, have some lunch, input info into Command. And then in the afternoon, you're practicing writing offers, you're looking at virtual home tours, you're doing Zoom appointments, or you're showing properties, or you're going on listing presentations. That's how you're creating a daily schedule, okay? Hopefully you guys took a screenshot of this. You can also email me and I can send it to you later if you want. Let me put my email in the chat really quick. Okay. All right. Did that help to just show you some thoughts around that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
It was very helpful. Yes.
Thanks, Julia. Great. All right. So next up in the presentation is working on the 411. Now, remember when I showed you in Connect how to get to the materials, the participant materials? I want to show you one other thing. I'm actually going to go back there because there's a really important resource in there for you guys to also have. So inside the participant resources tab, I'm clicking on it again. You're going to see that at the top, they have every single day, but at the top, they have this thing called the Ignite Toolkit. You should also download that and save every PDF. It'll download as a zip file for you, and then you can save it on your computer. There's a ton of resources inside that toolkit, and I'm going to show you what those are right now. Let me just get there really quick. Ignite. Okay. Has anyone already downloaded the toolkit or already using the resources that are in there? Good.
I've
Yay,
downloaded
Denise.
it.
Okay,
I just haven't used, I haven't got to, there's a lot, like you said, it looks like it's a treasure chest, but
It
yes,
is.
I have it.
A lot of extra stuff. So this is what's inside the Ignite Toolkit. There's the 66-day challenge calendar, 411 template, which we're going to work on right now, buyer lead sheets, checklists for writing offers, cover letter template, daily 10-4, script books. All your script books are in there. Open house information, which you'll need one of these days. Listing information. There's a ton of stuff in there, you guys, that you should also be downloading and have all of that information. You will use it at some point. Okay. So we're going to start with the 411, which I will go ahead. You guys all have it. It's part of the packet, the 411. And I want us to work on that together. I want us to build it out together. So I'm just going to share with you just a blank one. Actually, I have another cool resource for you right here. Let me show you this. This is super cool. one of my agents found this, and honestly, I'm not quite sure where you get it inside of KW Connect, but it's an E411. So if you go to e411.kw.com, this will show up and it becomes an electronic version of your 411. You can use paper. Paper, I know there's a lot of psychological studies that show that pen to paper is makes you retain information more than if you're just putting something online. But there is an E411 that you can use as well. We're just going to go ahead and work with the typical 411 sheet. Is the 411 showing on my screen, or do I need to reshare?
It's
Not the
showing.
E411, but the paper 411.
No.
Okay, sorry, let me reshare.
Yeah, I see the E411.
Okay. I got to reshare. Here we go. So in your workbook today is the paper version of the 411. Now, the 411 is just a fancy title, you know, 411 means information. And so that's what we've created. It's actually backward. It's actually a 114. You're creating one annual goal, and then you're creating a monthly goal. So your annual goal divided by 12. So it's one annual goal, one goal a month, because this is a planning tool that you use every month. And then 4 weekly goals, because typically there's at least 4 weeks in each month, sometimes a little over 4. So it's a 4-1-1. You have to start with your annual goal. So for example, I suggested as a new agent, a goal of 12 transactions in your first year is a great goal. 1 transaction a month, because 12 for the year equates to 1 a month. And then what are you doing each week in order to hit the monthly goal, which puts you in line to hit your annual goal? Does that all make sense? That's how a 411 works. And the 411, your monthly goal and your annual goal don't really change. It's the weekly goals that change, that you're redoing every single week or every single month. And you should be planning this out on a monthly basis. You should plan your month ahead of time. And then of course, every week you're going to look and you're going to go, okay, did I do a success list? Did I achieve the top things each week that I wanted to achieve that's going to help me hit my monthly goal, which then in turn helps me hit my annual goal? All right. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to work on a 411. And Coach Renee will be working with you on putting really good content into your weekly goals so that you're creating what I call your weekly job description or your daily job description, so that you're hitting your monthly goals and then hitting your annual goals. And that's where it comes back to what I showed you just a few minutes ago. These are my suggestions around this again of what should go. Woo! I almost logged out of the meeting. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Again, this is what I'm recommending should be part of that weekly 411. So you're putting 2 hours of prospecting in there. You're making your calls. You're making your contacts. You're following up with people. You're focusing on listing appointment skills, then practicing your listing appointments and buyer appointments. And then you're practicing writing offers. Write an offer as if you were the client. Fill it out as if you were the client and give it to your coach and your mentor to take a look at to make sure you're doing it correctly. When I was a productivity coach, I said this all the time to every single new agent. And then they'd get their first client and they would freeze. They'd be like, wait, I don't know how to fill it out. I need your help right away. And then it was an emergency because they hadn't practiced ahead of time. Okay, there's a lot of analogies here about pro athletes. Do they practice in the game or do they practice ahead of time? Don't practice in the game. If you're with a client, already know how to do everything. Okay, you're in the game when you're with a client. Practice beforehand. Okay, practice, practice, practice. And by the way, you can practice with other agents, but I also recommend practicing with your closest people. I practiced on my mother-in-law. I practiced on my best friend because they're actually consumers. And so when I practiced on them, they were looking at my presentation from the eyes of a consumer. If you're only practicing with other realtors, they're looking at your presentation and thinking, oh, I like that part. Oh, here's what I would do differently. Oh, they're looking at it from a realtor perspective, not a consumer perspective. So ask your favorite people if you can practice on them. I literally practiced my presentations with my best friend and my mother-in-law when I was brand new in the business. And guess what the benefit of that was? They saw how serious I was taking this business. And they were like, wow, first of all, they were like, wow, Laura, you did a really good job. And they gave me recommendations or suggestions of what I could improve on. But they also saw how serious I was taking the business. So then they started telling people, you need to use Laura. She's taking this business really seriously. They became my cheerleaders. So practice on your favorite people, okay? And don't practice in the game, practice before the game.
On the outside and it's crunchy, but it's like soft on the inside. I don't want something to run.
I don't know, Zach, are you talking to me or are you just needing to mute? I can't tell. Okay, thank you.
I apologize.
No worries. Okay, so then 1 hour of command input, get on top of command right away. Don't be playing catch up with that. Accountability and script practice, social media. These are the things, again, that I recommend would go into those weekly parts of the 411. Okay, does that make sense? And week 1 might be different than week 2, and week 2 might be different than week 3. Week 1, you might have a certain type of social media thing you're doing. Week 2, maybe it's a seller focus. Week 2 is buyer focused. Week 3 is a market snapshot for everybody, those kinds of things. So you can definitely have different things in different weeks that you're focusing on. And then obviously, as you get better at your skills, some of those things will go away a little bit and you'll be adding new things. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the 411. The next thing that's in your packet, and I'm not necessarily, I guess I'm going to share it. Let's see what's going on next. The next thing in your packet is the 80-20 principle. Is that showing on the screen right now? Hold on, let me get it there. All right, the 80-20 principle. So the 80-20 principle is a super cool principle that was created many years ago by, it's also called the Pareto principle. Vilfredo Pareto was a scientist in Italy who was looking at yields of crops. But basically what we learned from this principle was that 20% of your efforts bring 80% of your results. There's so many different ways to look at that. The other way you can look at it, so 20% of your efforts would be the big rocks. Those big rocks are your big efforts that are going to bring 80% of your results. Cleaning your desk is not a big rock and it's not going to bring results. Reaching out to people, your people that you know, buyers and sellers, growing your skills, those are going to be those big rocks that are going to bring 80% of your results. Okay. The other way that you look at it in real estate is typically 20% of the agents are doing 80% of the business. You've got that top 20% who are doing most of the business. That's not by accident. That means they're focusing on their big rocks. Okay. So that's something for you to think about. What are you going to be your big rocks every day, every week, every month? Inside of the, your next one says set weekly and daily objectives inside of your handout. And then in the Ignite toolkit, there's another handout that's planning your success list, which I'm going to show you. Because I grabbed it as well. And again, this is inside of your, oh, it appears that, oh, here it is. I know where it's at. It's right here. Okay. I have a lot of different handouts. Okay, so this is inside that Ignite toolkit. It's called Plan Your Day, and it's focusing on daily 10-4 habits and then creating your success list. List all the tasks you could do. Ask what's the one thing I could do such that by doing that, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So that helps you identify your most important tasks or your big rocks. So again, this tool is inside of that Ignite toolkit, and this is a super cool way for you to be prioritizing things. Okay. The last part that I wanted to show you guys is how to create a calendar that will help you be successful, how to time block. Now, every single one of you as a KW agent has access to a Google Calendar because our KW email addresses are a Google email address. How many of you are already using your Google Calendar?
I am.
Awesome, Elsie. Okay, great. I see some hands raised. That's awesome. I'm going to show you an example of what a Google Calendar could look like that's time blocked out really well. Okay, I created this yesterday. And this is something that I learned from my coach. I get coached by a coach through MAPS Coaching, and she's the bomb at creating really good calendars and not having wasted time. And she's also taught me how to color code and that sort of thing. So what you're going to see here at the top is my color codes. So I have learning as yellow, lead gen and lead follow-up is dark green because those are money-making activities. Light green are business tasks. Seller and buyer appointments, I made them purple more because of the bold laws and being bold. I made them purple. You can make them whatever color you want. And then for me personal, I made it that kind of salmon pink color. So this is my key kind of up above that shows up at every single day. And then I know based on those color codes how I've time blocked out my day. So obviously we always recommend that you put your personal things in there first. What's your exercise time? What's your family time? What are your family commitments? Do you have vacations already scheduled? Time block all of that out first so that you can build your calendar around it. And then I created an Ignite schedule because right now you guys are taking Ignite. So from 9 to 10 every day, it's yellow, it's Ignite. And then from 10 to 10:30, practicing scripts. And then from 10:30 to 12:30, you're doing 2 hours of lead gen and lead follow-up. Okay, these are money making, so these are important activities. Remember, it was working on your business and working in your business. And the dark green is what we call the growing your business part. And then I gave you some lunchtime, and then we have a half hour of putting the things that you worked on this morning inside a command. Okay, so who did you reach out to? Put your notes in there, make sure they're inside a command. Then practice your offers, practice writing offers, practice your presentations, buyer consult. So one day of the week, it might be, okay, I'm going to write offers and I'm going to give them to my coach and my mentor to look at. The next day of the week is, okay, I'm going to work on my buyer presentation. The next day of the week, I'm going to work on my listing presentation. And then so you've got 5 days a week that you can be practicing that and have an accountability partner that you practice with or your favorite people. And then I scheduled out a whole bunch of time in my schedule for appointments. Now, we know appointments might take more than an hour, but if you schedule it out that way, your goal in the morning during your green time is to fill your appointments each day, okay? Let me ask you a question. Let's say that you did your lead gen and your lead follow-up for Monday and you scheduled 3 appointments for Monday, so you're good to go, okay? You're good. And then Tuesday, you did your lead gen and your lead follow-up and you didn't get any appointments scheduled for Tuesday. What should you do then if you don't have appointments scheduled and you've clocked in at 9 a.m. and you're not clocking out until 5:30? What should you do if you have open time here?
More lead generation.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
lead generation.
Amen. You guys get an A+. You've passed. Yes. This is one of the trainers I learned from a long time ago. He actually said he worked a half day every day, and that was his half day was 12 hours because there's 24 hours in a day. That was a little much for me as a mom who had kids that I needed to attend to at home. But if he did not have an appointment booked in the afternoon, then he did more lead gen and lead follow-up. So if you don't have appointments booked yet, then keep working on your skills during that time. Previewing properties, practicing presentations, doing social media posts, getting yourself out there as much as you possibly can. And then we all know that because our clients work during the day, that many times we have to show property in the evening. It's staying lighter much longer this time of year. So you may be showing some properties in the evening or going on some listing appointments in the evening. And of course, you're going to be doing some of those activities on the weekend. Try to give yourself a day off. Sometimes agents don't give themselves a weekend day off, or you may work 2 weekends a month and then, or 3 weekends a month and take a weekend off. Some agents will take Fridays off because they know they're going to be working all weekend, that sort of thing. Or you schedule that you're working half days on the weekends and you have half days off. So you're going to have to decide what's best for you around all of that. Is this helpful to look at it this way?
Yeah, definitely.
This is very helpful from a visual perspective, Laura.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree. Was a game changer for me when I started time blocking. This is time blocking, you guys. This is what the definition of time blocking is. And when I started doing it this way with color coding, it is really helpful for me. Your Google Calendar shows up on your phone too, so you've always got it with you. I just helped my husband set his up this way the other day.
I got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Just I guess a logistical question. Can I, if I block myself up under my KW email and Gmail this way, can I import that into my personal Gmail calendar in such a way that, I don't know, does it let you know when there's conflicts, or do you understand what I'm getting at? Because
Yeah, the answer to your question is you should only have one calendar.
okay.
Don't have two. You're going to be screwed up and you're going to block something and you're going to double book yourself. So this is my work and personal calendar. Don't try to have two. You've got to only have one. You're going to make your life so much harder. And that's what I just helped my husband do. He had two different calendars and we put them all into Google together. Okay. I know on your phone, you've got different calendar options. You're going to have to go through your settings and figure it out where it's all syncing into one calendar. And I had to do this as well. I had an Outlook calendar for a long time before I switched over to Google. And I basically had to, I took a day and I had to move everything from Outlook into Google. And that was a few years ago. And now this is the only calendar I use for personal and professional. Block your personal time out first. Again, I chose mine as like a pink color. I'm a girl, I chose pink. And then I was intentional about my colors here. Yellow's learning, dark green is the money-making activities. Purple's bold. So my seller and buyer appointments, I want to be bold during those appointments. So I was intentional about my colors. You can pick whatever colors work for you. Try to give yourself a clock in and clock out schedule every day. And the final thing I'll say about this, because we got about 5 minutes left, is what's your win the day formula? If I'm at 5:30 at the end of Monday and I look back on my schedule and I go, you know what, gosh, I did the best I could and I got 2 appointments scheduled and I was really intentional and focused, I won the day to day. I can pat myself on the back. I can go home and enjoy my family, and I'm going to sleep better at night because I really was intentional, and I can clock out. Okay. I can check this off. And then I know what I need to do the next day to win the day. Now, something to think about in terms of giving ourselves grace, because things happen, and especially in real estate, all of a sudden you'll have buyers that need to write offers right now, or you'll have a seller that shows up that needs to go right now. So we have things that do show up in our calendar that can turn us sideways. Think about it this way. There's 7 days in a week. If you've won 5 of 7, you've won the week. If you win 3 of 4 weeks in a month, you've won the month. And if you can win 8 to 9 months of a year, you have won the year. It gives yourself permission to have some days off, to have some days that turn sideways, and to take some vacation time and not feel like you have to work every single day. But if you can focus every day at the end of the day, even if you set a reminder in your phone at 5:30 or whatever the magic time is for you, to say, hey, did I win the day today? And that's when you're going to create your list for tomorrow so that you can shut your brain off at night and sleep better. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
The final part
Okay.
about this would be getting some accountability. This is a solo business in the sense that you are your own business owner. You are responsible for winning your day every day, but we all know that we get so much better if we have some accountability. The best thing that I ever heard about coaching was that your best thinking got you to where you are now. Your best thinking. And so that's pretty good. Pat yourself on the back. And it's somebody else coming along with you on the journey can kind of look at what's going on with you from a helicopter view and help you see things that you maybe cannot see yourself because you're caught up in all your own stuff. Okay. So get a partner in this. We've got Coach Renee helping with most of our agents who are brand new. She's your accountability partner. She's your coach. And it's really helpful to have another agent in the business who you can be practicing with and growing your skills with. And I do also recommend that you ask your favorite people, your cheerleaders, to also practice on them as well. Okay, practice makes perfect. Don't practice in the game, practice before the game starts. We just have a couple minutes left. I hope, first of all, was this helpful today?
Yes, I would say so for me.
Awesome.
Very much. Yep.
Thank you.
Very good.
And do you guys have any last questions for me?
Honestly, I could probably pick your brain for a while with more details about the whole thing, but no.
Okay, Zach, which office are you with?
Santa Cruz.
Okay, so you're working with Renee also?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, you can totally pick her brain too. She's great at this stuff. Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Oh, shoot. I wish I had this quote.
Oh, actually, real quick before you go, you pulled up that website, the E411 for the electronic 411. I thought I tried to put that in and I'm getting a 403 error.
Okay, let me copy it and put it in the chat. And let me know if it works that way. Oops. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't just delete one that was, no, I think that should get it to you.
Yeah, it looks like I got it.
Okay, there's a quote that I want to read to you guys that I think is really important too. If I can find it quick enough. You're not going to master the rest of your life in one day. Just relax, master the day, then just keep doing that every day. That's a really important one. So I'll read it one more time. I should have had it up for you guys. I don't. If you email me, I'll send it to you. You're not going to master the rest of your life in one day. Just relax, master the day, then just keep doing that every day. That's a win the day quote. Any last questions?
I just have 2 quick questions, Laura, and let me know if I should just follow up with you via email.
Okay.
My plan is to preview some new builds this weekend. So I wanted to touch bases with somebody and see if there's anything I should ask the builder when I go in to do that in their offices. And also I have a meeting with Cornerstone Title Company on Monday with one of their sales reps to partner with. And I wanted to know if there's anything that I should be aware of asking them, since this is my first type of meeting with them as a real estate. I've interacted with them in other roles, but not as a real estate agent.
Okay.
Should I follow up with you via email?
No, it's okay.
I'd like to hear.
What I would say, you guys, is just when you go to a meeting like that, and you guys should all be meeting with title reps, you should be meeting with lenders, you need to build your team. It's let them know, hey, I'm really new at this. What you tell me what I should know. They should be able to educate you and give you kind of a presentation of what you should be learning. And Julia, most of them, if it's a rep, they already know, and they'll have a presentation prepared for you. Now on the new home build part, the way I would answer that question, are you bringing buyers with you or are you going on your own?
No, I'm going by myself. I'm using this as a way to start dipping my toe in the water and, just practice.
So I would let them know that I'm a new agent. I'm coming to take a look. What recommendations do you have for new agents? I'm going to tell you the one thing they're going to let you know is for new home builds, if you have buyers that are interested in new home builds, you have to register them. You have to show up with them and register them with your name in order for you to get a commission from a new home build. Okay, so they're probably going to explain that process to you, and every single new home build does it differently. So go to a couple and let them know, hey, I'm new in real estate. I'm just learning how to do all this. What recommendations, what suggestions do you have for me when I bring clients with me next time? Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you letting people know and introducing yourself and being your, professional, polite self, and letting you know that you're information gathering. Same with lenders too. Hey, I'm new. I want you to be one of my best lenders. What can you teach me? All your affiliates or your vendors, you should be asking these kinds of questions, and put that into your time blocking. Okay, it is 10:02 and we are going to start the second part of our class. So I'm going to stop recording. Thank you all for being here for this part.